Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are here for episode 2 of Breaking Kayfabe with the one and only Hot Dog Starks. And ladies and gentlemen, I am very honored to have this man on. When he does arrive, I did send him the invite to come on, so whenever he's ready, we can get this rolling. I first saw the man on GTS, and then saw him in other places that I could find on YouTube and other platforms. It is a true honor to interview him today. I hope everybody is having a great day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever y'all may be. This is going to be a big one, I tell you. I'm very excited for this one. And if you've never checked out Hot Dog Stark's career, please go check him out. He is a very great professional wrestler, fun, loving, entertaining. The man has done a lot, and he also goes by another persona, the Bundertaker, which we shall talk about. And if you've never checked out GTS, please go check them out. Some great content. And we'll be talking about the other places he has been a part of. I have questions lined up, and I am very excited, and I hope everybody is as well. Adding you on, sir. Hello.
Hey,
Hello, Mr. Hot Dog Starks.
hey man, how you doing?
Not too bad, sir. Not too bad. How about yourself?
I'm doing pretty well. I'm a little tired, but I'm okay.
Hey, I would imagine you're a busy man. I have a busy schedule with the pro wrestling scene that you be doing.
Yeah, it's summertime, so everybody's trying to, get the hot dog out here.
Everybody loves the hot diggity dog. Your song is a classic.
Yeah, but it could be pretty annoying, especially now being a parent. My son loves that song, and I'm just like, I'm tired of hearing it. I'm just tired. But I get it. It's catchy, but after hearing it for 8 years as a wrestler and then now hearing it for full time now as a parent every single day, it could be a little annoying, but it's okay.
But you also take a little break from that persona, also going into Bundertaker.
True, true. I love being a Bundertaker, man. I I love showing that mean streak that I have. I don't get to show it often, but like when I do, I make sure I go all out.
Heck yeah, you do. And I was just telling the people that are watching that I first saw you on GTS.
Oh boy. So that must have been in 2017, I want to say, maybe 2018.
It
Um, I
was
yeah.
Solid Steel series where you teamed up with Jimmy Controversy and the Beach Bumps.
Yeah. So yeah, that was a brutal day for me. Something happened in the match. It wasn't supposed to happen, and we were just all scrambling. And then I took a nice choke slam from Bruno, and
Mm-hmm.
and now
Is that the spot?
that was not supposed to happen, but it happened. And yeah, I shortened my career a little bit, but it's okay. I got my receipt for that one.
Wait. So that spot injured you for a while after Bruno chokeslammed you. Was it like not like he just did it out of instinct? Oh,
Yeah, it was out of instinct. I had something in mind where I was trying to work into it, but like he's just a giant, and like he 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 really chokeslammed me. He really got me up there. And yeah, if you noticed, my knees hit my face. I landed on my neck. I wasn't injured per se. I just was banged up a little bit. But it happens. It happens. But now him and I, every time we're in the ring, we go through chokeslam battles. So the next time I saw him, I chokeslammed him, and then vice versa. So every time we're in the ring, we do give each other chokeslams.
mutual thing between the two. I would imagine
Yeah.
he is both a friend and fellow rival in the ring.
Yeah, yeah. I the last time I wrestled Bruno, I don't know how long ago it was this, maybe 5, 6 years ago, um, at a Violence and Suffering show, and I think we were the first match. We weren't even supposed to wrestle each other, but it happened. It was cool. I think he ate a hot dog and it pissed me off, and I slapped him up a little bit. I lost the match, but I got a choke slam in, so it is what it is.
Hey man, I think what you do in the ring is incredible. To me, I feel like you're underplayed. I see you on YouTube, and I see the matches that you posted on there, and I've seen from other companies I've been able to find of you. And what you do, you bring a lot of fun, love, and joy to the crowd, and you know how to get the crowd working. And the fans, I absolutely adore you most of that time.
Yeah, it's such a weird thing. I love the energy that I get from the fans. Um, it's a feeling that I can't really describe. I just know it fuels me and it makes me want to do more for them. Because without them, there really is no me. But I genuinely love being in front of a lot of people, in front of an audience. I love entertaining. I've been doing this for such a long time. Just my passion. But they give me love, and I want to reciprocate that love right back to them.
Well, you got love from us here on the Shadowed City. You are the second person to be on Breaking Kayfabe. We started this literally not too long ago with a wrestler from TSW, Sweet Caramel Lightning, if you know about him.
I haven't heard about him, but I'll look into him.
Most definitely, if you ever go up to Texas, I would imagine you'd fit up there.
Oh, okay, yeah. I need to get over there.
Indeed you do, sir. Indeed you do. And I can imagine you also have other goals to go to like somewhere like probably a New Japan or somebody like AAA or WWE or AEW
Oh,
at
of
some
course,
point.
that's always like the goal. That's always a dream, right? I feel like I would fit in probably perfectly with DDT Pro Wrestling.
Mm.
Just because it's a lot of like crazy stuff that's happening. I mean, we had a blow up doll wrestle Kota Ibushi or Kenny Omega. Like, that's really cool. Grenade spots, all this stuff. Like anything that is wacky, probably makes no sense, but also tells a story. DDT Pro Wrestling. So, I mean, yeah, I would love to go anywhere, but if I was to start somewhere, put me on DDT.
Well said. Well said. When you first started your career, what gave you the itch to start this beautiful sport that we have?
I've always have been a fan of professional wrestling, so I remember just like I was telling my wife this. I was watching the Worlds Collide Premium Live event, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like I was watching AAA when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I was watching AAA. I would stay up late watching it, or watch it early in the morning. I watched ECW, I watched WCW, I watched WWF before it was WWE. Before it changed. I watched all. I was just glued, fascinated by all the wrestling that I was able to find. So I wasn't just a WWE fan. I literally watched WCW. I have favorites from every single company. I watched women's wrestling. I watched every single thing, and it just fueled me. So I've always wanted to take part of it. In my later years, I got into mixed martial arts in hopes that it would get me to professional wrestling, and so it did. It did. It got me to professional wrestling, and then I was like, yeah, you know what? I don't want to do MMA anymore. I don't want to do karate anymore. I want to be a professional wrestler. And I've always wanted to do it. Always. Like even I grew up with six brothers and I was always champion. But I love wrestling dumb. I love emulating the characters. Like my favorite character from WCW was Jeff Jarrett. He came out with a guitar, right? And my
The
mom would
King of
buy
the
me
Mountain.
yeah, my mom would buy me these cheap dollar guitars, and I would hit my brothers over the head with them, and then hold up my championship. I love Sting. Sting was my one of my all-time favorites. The Undertaker, Jeff Hardy. Um, I've had so many favorites, but yeah, like I've always been a wrestling fan, so I'm always gonna be a wrestling fan at heart. So it just with that love for it, it just kind of got me to the dance.
That's incredible. I always love hearing people's story about how they came up to the business, and I'm glad that us, and including myself, get to know about who Hot Dog Starks is.
Yeah.
Who trained you? Like, what's your training style like? Like,
So the person who trained me is Pat Buck. He currently is, I want to say, an executive producer or executive talent relations or talent development, sorry, with AEW, which is really cool. He trained me, and there's a few others there too, like Mario Bakara, who's a legend in professional wrestling. He also trained me, and there was also the Heavenly Bodies. One is not wrestling anymore, but the other, Justin Carino, he's still wrestling. And Kevin Matthews. Kevin Matthews is also took part of my training. But who taught me how to be the hot dog? No one. But who taught me how to wrestle? All those guys. But to be a character, none of them did. I think that was more of like figuring that out on my own. But yeah.
and then you've also found the Bundertaker.
Yeah, so the Bundertaker, how that came about, there's a wrestler from Pittsburgh. His name is MV Young, and he wanted me to face Effie, but uh he wanted me to be like a Undertaker style character, and I was trying to figure out a name for it. I was like Underdog, and he came up with the name Bundertaker, and I was like, oh, why didn't I think of that? So in a way, he gave me that gimmick, and I just kind of ran with it. So I got gear for it. I got a different theme song, and my entire style changes. I don't do I don't prance around. I'm not flamboyant as I usually am. I'm literally the Undertaker, but but of course, a whole foot or two, a foot and a half shorter, and I weigh less than him. But people believe it, and they love the development of the Undertaker.
Most agreed here. I recently discovered, believe it or not, the Bundertaker when I was because I knew about Hot Dog Starks, but I never knew you had another persona until I did my digging.
I have three hot dog personas. So
Oh,
there's Hot Dog Starks, there's Bundertaker, and the other one is Bun Nasty. So I'll wear a fur coat. I got these like cool specs that I usually wear, and I just change how I talk. I change I just change everything. Like I'm more of like a cool cat. I'm a cool guy. And for that character, it's more of like he's more of like my manager. He's more of like a talker. I don't have to really wrestle as Bun Nasty unless I want to, but I don't intend to ever wrestle with Bun Nasty. So that character, I've debuted it. I've shown it off. I do my promos with Bun Nasty. If I'm prepping for like a big match or something, Bun Nasty does my talking because I sometimes feel like I pigeonholed myself with the hot dog gimmick, but I have to make it work, right? Like it's a good gimmick and there's nothing really wrong with it, but it does stop my viewers, my fans, like how promoters want to book me. It kind of like puts them in a bit of a hole. And they're like, "Well, how can we book a hot dog?" And that's exactly, why I have Bundertaker, and that's exactly why I have Bun Nasty, because I'm bringing something different to the table. This is how you book a hot dog. And then my Bun Nasty, he's gonna tell you all the stuff. He's gonna talk all the crap to all the bad guys. He's gonna do all that. He's gonna do my talking. But then who shows up to the ring? It's not Bun Nasty. It's either Hot Dog or Bundertaker. Or sometimes you get both, depending on how serious his match is gonna be. Like with my match with Megabyte Ronnie, where it was just Hot Dog versus Megabyte, and then somewhere along the match, I eventually go, no, Bundertaker's here. Like you get a little, I emulate the Bundertaker, and I'm a supernatural hot dog being, and it works out. But yeah, this is exactly why I have three different hot dog gimmicks, but they all relate to one thing where it's all dogs under one.
It's all under one banner, one roof.
One banner, one roof, one bun.
Welcome, Mr. Corey Davis. He runs his own little EFED promotion called DPW, I do have to
What's
say.
up, Corey?
Now, you have also been in like various companies that I have like researched into, and I am learning about this new character, Bunasty is how you say him? Bunasty?
Yes, Bunasty. Yeah,
Bunasty. I need to do more into that one.
yeah.
Um, you were at Five Count Studios for a bit.
Five Count Studio. Is that like
You faced Tyler Caton.
Tyler Caton? That was. I'm trying to remember where this was at.
At
Tyler
least it's
Caton.
that's what the name was on YouTube. I saw Five Count Studios, so I wasn't.
So that if it's Tyler Caton, then it was Eclipse Pro Wrestling. There was two
Okay.
different companies, so I haven't faced him in like so many years. But yeah, Tyler Caton. Um, that match is really cool. I actually that match I felt like I needed to prove something. You know, I always get like people who look at me just as a gimmick, and I felt the need to actually want to wrestle. So I was doing a little bit more than I needed to do, but I felt like we had a good match.
Oh, I most definitely agree. Tyler came up victorious, but the match, like you said, was incredible between
Yeah,
the both of you.
yeah, it was a
And
really good
you have
match.
also done not just regular wrestling, but I also noticed you did a bit of how we say hardcore extreme action on Beyond and other
Yeah,
places.
yeah. So I know when it's hot dog season, when Beyond books the hot dog. Um, their first time, well, it really wasn't my first time getting booked at Beyond, but I think the match you're referring to was me versus Casanova Valentine.
Ye-
Okay, so
yes.
that match I wasn't even supposed to be booked for. Um, but the event, like the whole show, the name of the show was called Hot Dog and a Handshake. So I kind of like begged and pleaded to be on the show, but I wasn't booked on the show originally. I got told by the promoter. He was like, "Hey, someone got injured, so I'm putting you on the show." And I was like, "Oh my God, like this is really cool." And I had no idea that I was going to main event the show, and I main evented at a Beyond show, and this is. I was so shocked. I was taken aback. I couldn't believe it because I wasn't supposed to be on the show to begin with, and it was a unsanctioned, uncensored uh, a brawl. It was a fight between me and Casanova Valentine, and I had a great time. I took a DDT on the chair, and I ended up standing standing really straight, upside down. Um, I pulled a hot dog out of my hot dog fanny pack. I shoved it in his mouth, gave him a nice bunner today, But I it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. Um, and I couldn't be any prouder.
That's awesome. I'm happy to see you develop in styles and into future dream matches, which your match against Cheeseburger versus the hot dog.
Yeah, so
That
me
NFC Great
and
American Trash 2022.
yep. So when it comes to the Great American Trash, I am 4-0. I am undefeated. Um, my first opponent, it was not Cheese. My first opponent was Puff and the American Beetle, in which I won. And then the second match I had was in Cheeseburger. And me and Burger currently are 1-1. So we have to run it back one more time to determine who really is the greatest food fighter, in the world. But yeah, that match was insane. We wrestled for 18 minutes, going back and forth. There was hot dogs, cheeseburgers, thumbtacks, all of this in one. We had an amazing time. Burger is one of my greatest opponents, my favorite tag team partner. Um, I love wrestling Burger. Any day of the week, I would do it.
That's awesome. I would love to see you two face off again. I think the world would also love to see that. You've also had work from WrestlePro, if you know what I'm talking about. Where you've been in quite a bit of matches. You've been in a match between yourself, DJZ, Onyx, Buster Jackson, Bear Bronson, and Ron Kingsley.
Yeah, so that was the debut of Hot Dog Starks.
Okay.
That was the debut of Hot Dog Starks. And I didn't know what I was doing, how to do it, how to quote unquote be a hot dog. But that was the first time WrestlePro had booked the hot dog. Because this is my WrestlePro is my home company. I started at WrestlePro. And I've never won any matches there ever. So this is the first time I've won any match. So it's a genuine reaction when I won this match and when Joaquin or DJZ, whatever, um, shook my hand afterwards, I was even more stunned. I was shocked and I was humbled because I've never been in this position. I've never been I to to hear the crowd reaction because a guy is wearing a hot dog costume is flying around doing moves like just to get that reaction. It was the first time I've ever gotten that reaction.
Wow.
It was the first time I worked with someone who was a name, a former TNA superstar, a current WWE superstar, who's out there, right? And he gave me respect, and I was like, "What is going on here?" And because of that night, um, me and DJZ we're friends now, which is really cool. I'm friends with everybody in that match, but I'll never forget that night. And going forward, I always remember it. When I get a reaction, I always remember that night specifically because it was the start of something that I didn't even know was going to be a thing. It was the start of being a hot dog, and it works.
And you talk about going on to face former TNA and WWE stars, and your stuff did not start there for WrestlePro, as you went on to go face KM.
Yep, yep. Kevin Matthews. So that match was also fun. It was a May the Fourth be with you. I don't know what year. Also, funny enough, Alicia Taylor, before she was signed with WWE, was also in attendance that night.
Really?
Yeah, ring announcer Alicia Taylor was in attendance. She has some photos from that night, and she tagged me in them, which is really cool. But yeah, that match was really cool as well because I was born in Brooklyn, and so was KM. We're both born in Brooklyn, so the crowd was kind of split between him and I. And this is also someone who has, in a way, trained me to, for wrestling and two completely different styles, right? Like I'm just a fun-loving, gimmicky wrestler, and this is like a serious dude. So yeah, I was a bit nervous because obviously you don't want to mess up with someone who's trained you and who has in a way brought you to the dance. You don't want to mess up. And I thought I did pretty well. I won the match, got beat up afterwards, still got chanted. But yeah, it was really cool, and he put me over. I'm always gonna be grateful for that. So him and we've always have a good relationship. Um, we'll love to wrestle him again if he permits it. I just got to get in better shape. But yeah, he's in AEW right now. He's doing his thing. But yeah,
You versus Vargas?
Vargas. Oh man. Okay. That also was in Brooklyn. So like when Reservoir books me, they usually do it in Brooklyn. Brooklyn, it just that crowd specifically, even the KM match and the six-way match that I did, all of those are in the same building. So Vargas, this was like the wildest crowd where you look at him and you look at me and you're like, yeah, Vargas he's gonna beat this guy up. Like he's gonna eat this hot dog. But
Vargas is crazy.
Vargas is an intense wrestler. But I held my own. I took a lot of beating, but I was kicking out, kicking out, kicking out. And I didn't win the match, but I got a lot of respect after that match. Like you could just hear the crowd reaction after the match, and the people were just still chanting my name, and I was like, man, like this feels really good. This feels really good. I'm hurting, but the crowd is making me feel a little bit better. So I genuinely, I every match you named so far, I loved all of them.
I got down a big list here, and I hope I bring back some nostalgia. Like I said, I got down every single company I was able to calculate for what I've seen and what I've heard, and I got some good ones. One of the companies I do shout out here a lot of the time on the channel, which you were actually a part of. And hello, mom. Hello. Um, Bree Combination Wrestling.
Okay, what match did I have there? That depends. Was it Eric Jaden?
What? It was Eric Jaden. Eric Jaden
Okay,
won.
okay. Yeah, that match, I was still trying to figure out what to do as Hot Dog, right? Like I'm probably still wearing old gear. Um, we did a dance off. Yeah, it was the early stages. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I didn't know. But, the point of this whole thing is just have fun. Just have fun. So, majority of it, me, I'm having fun. I think I took a GTS for the finish too. So,
I want to see you back there on GTS, man. Freaking, you have always been a great. When I first saw you from GTS, I like the fact is that you dressed up like a hot dog and how you came in. It electrified my house, bro. I was like, yeah. Um.
I yeah.
Oh, what? Sorry.
So, the last time I was on GTS, I was in a battle royal. It was supposed to be over the top battle royal. So, I never got thrown over the top rope.
Hey.
I've never got thrown over the top rope. So, I forgot who won. It was some type of psycho clown who ended up winning the match and won a championship. But you should put an asterisk next to that person because technically I won the match. But it's okay.
Hey, it's great times. Wherever you go, you get a learning experience from going around the different places that you have. And a question I do want to ask is when you go to these different places, what is the atmosphere like for the individual places you have gone to?
Hmm. Some are a bit weird depending on where I'm at. Like it's such a weird thing because I really ever have a hard time with like reactions and stuff. Um, or just figuring it out and trying to figure out the lay of the land. But I always look at it like, business as usual. I'm always going to treat the crowd how I always treat the crowd with the same level of energy and same level of respect. And, it's all reciprocated. I do that and they show it back. Some people have no idea who I am and it's their first time seeing me. So if it's the first, like, for example, if I go to a new company I've never wrestled in before, I'm always going to wear the same tights that I wore in any debut. I wear my red tights because that's like my Mach 1, my Mach 1 hot dog suit.
That's like your pinnacle.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, this is hot dog starts. You have no idea who I am. You're going to be well informed by the end of this whole thing. You're going to be a fan of mine by the end of it. I can guarantee it.
I hope others follow you after this. I do. So basically, I did make this public so people on my end will see this video and people on your end. And regardless, this will be up on the Shadowed City YouTube page after.
Okay.
Also, I noticed you've had your fair share of managerial moments with Grimm and the Beach Bums.
Oh man. Okay.
And
So,
probably others, if I haven't named it.
it's not the list is not, the list is not that long. The thing with Grimm, I think it was like a last minute thing. Shook Crew had their own show happening, and they had reached
Mm-hmm.
out to me. They were like, Grimm needs help. I'm like, with what? Against DJ Hyde. like
Yeah,
hardcore
DJ
match.
Hyde.
I was like, all right, cool. So I go over down to Hicksfield, New York. I see Grim again, and unfortunately, I try to help him. I try to hit DJ Hyde with Frankie, my hot dog, and it didn't go too well for me. I got put through a door. Uh, I got put through a door. It sucked, but it's fine. It's whatever. And the Beach Bums, collectively, when we're all together, we're the Beach Buns. Um,
I
love
love
those
that.
guys. Yeah, I love those guys. And one of my closest friends is TJ Crawford. He's former beach bum, doing his thing right now. The Trust, TJ Crawford, the Silver Sniper, whatever you want to call him. He's doing his thing. But yeah, we're still boys. We still we still do our handshake from back in the day when we were the beach buns. But um, I love wrestling. I love wrestling with them. It was always fun. It was a good time. They were wacky and crazy, and then like their crazy matched my crazy. So we were doing our thing.
And you guys got the team up in WrestlePro in a WWE known match called Survivor Series against Espequitos?
Team
Espequitos?
Team Espanicos. So that
Oh,
team comprised of at the time they were Team Espana and Nikos Rico, so Espanicos. And then they had their coach, Coach D, who we don't really talk about him much, but I gave Coach D. It was supposed to be a stunner, but it ended up looking like an RKO because it was an very old man. Um, so he got eliminated very quickly. I got to wrestle my best friend, who is Jose from that team Espanicos or Hispanic Mechanics or Team España, whatever you want to call them now. But I got to wrestle him, and funny enough, I think that day happened on January 19th. And we've always had this thing, like we started wrestling our first matches on January 19th, me and my best friend, and we've had 3 or 4 matches on that date. So we got to wrestle January 19th, or maybe it was a little before. I have no idea, but I we got to uh, bottom, and then I got distracted, and then he gave me a psycho knee to the face, and I got eliminated. But it's okay. Such is life. Things happen.
indeed they do, and nobody goes unnoticed in the wrestling ring. It may be predetermined at times, but like still, there's nothing fake about it, in my opinion. You guys put your bodies on the line going out there. One move could kill you.
Of course.
You had another multi-person match in Wrestle Pro against Ken Dixon, Max Caster, Johnny Class, Chris Steeler, and Hush.
This was this is in Rawway, so I remember. Okay, I remember this match. This is a fun match. This is a really fun match. I was on fire in this match, man. I was going crazy in this match. There was mustard busters flying. I was giving people the people's hot dogs, rock bottoms here and there, or the bottom bun I like to call it. I gave somebody a choke slam for the first time. I usually hit the bunner, but Shark Boy was there that night, and Shark Boy, I asked him, I was like, "Hey, I do the stunner, and I know you do the stunner. I'm not gonna ask you if I can do your move. I'm just gonna not do it." He gave me his blessing. He said, "No, dude, you're
Wow.
over. You're over. You do the move." I said, "No, no, it's okay. Like, I want to see you do it." And then we both ended up not doing the move. So I hit a choke slam, and I don't even think he got to do the stunner. So it was, I think, out of respect for each other, we just didn't do it. Um, but yeah.
I feel like this is the dream match: Hot Dog versus Shark Boy.
Oh, I would love it. I would cry, if I got that match. But
You're at the bats all crying. My hero.
I would literally love that match.
I would
Me
too.
me versus Curryman would be awesome.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
yeah, but he's
yes. Oh,
retired.
you and Santino Morella.
Yes, yes. I have only one interaction with Santino Marella off camera, behind the
Really?
scenes. Yeah, it was nothing too crazy. Like I was in the car while my one of my friends picked him up from the airport, and we just talked. We just talked because I don't think he knew my gimmick too well, and I wasn't like wanting to be like, "Oh, I'm hot dog," oh, but I didn't want to do that, and just kind
Yeah,
of show
you're
it
not
off
gonna
to
throw
him.
it in his face. Hey, I'm the hot dog.
Yeah, and expect him to know who I was. So I just left it alone, and I also had to do a seminar that day too. So I didn't want to just overdo it and make myself look bad. But I did get to talk to him. I got to pick his brain a little bit. He was very, very informative about like, what to do in terms of professional wrestling and how to like control your gimmick and how to like control the crowd if you can. And it was really cool. And we got lunch, we all got lunch. But it was really cool to talk to Santino, pick his brain. Um, a part of me wish he knew who I was at that point, but he didn't. But it's a-okay.
Sometimes the moments do happen, but still, you got to interact with somebody like that. And what it's even if you don't interact with people, you're still making a name for you and
Yeah.
what you've accomplished. And look at you now. Look how far you've gone. You said 8 years you've been in this, bro. I can't wait to see you
I
at
mean,
10.
eight years being a hot dog, but I've been wrestling professionally for 13 years now.
Wow, I want to
Yeah.
see it at 15. You also went, what I've noticed, to Pro Wrestling Magic, and what was that like?
uh, at first it was pretty good. I was something different and new to the crowd. Um, I loved Pro Wrestling Magic. I did. And then somewhere along the lines, things got lost in translations. Um, Booking
Oh,
became weird. Yeah, I don't want to sound gloomy about it, but I'm not going to speak publicly about it. But I did love my time at Pro Wrestling Magic when I first started, going there. I got to be the Bundertaker for a few times as a surprise. I got to be Hot Dog Starks as a surprise, and like their famous Chad Adams Memorial Battle Royal, which I
you
always
took
loved.
on abs at one
Abs
gym.
as Bundertaker, so I have two or three. I'm actually Bun defeated at Pro Wrestling Magic as the Bundertaker. I'm Bun defeated.
Wow.
So the first match I had was against Chris. Oh my God, what was his name? Oh, I'm throwing a blank here. I'll get to it. But yes, that match was, it was a 3 minute match, and then I had faced Abs in 5 minutes. And I had a good match with Abs. I wrestled Abs before. Um, I can put the term wrestling lightly, right? But uh, we wrestled in a comedy show. It was
Oh,
a tag match, so I got acquainted with Abs that way, and his gimmick is it's pretty cool. Where it's like he has abs of steel. So my job in that match was to make sure that I don't hit his abs, right? So I do make the mistake when I was teeing off him in the beginning of this match to not hit it. I hit his abs, and I was like, oh, I shook my hand. I was like, oh, that hurt. And then he started teeing off on me. So we both kind of brought out something in each other. I know I definitely brought something out with him to I guess be more fierce in the ring, but I genuinely like that match with abs. I think I hit old school in that match. I know I was super tired running back and forth on the ropes trying to knock him down, but man, that man, he does not fall. But when I finally got him, I was like, okay, we're back. Time for the choke slam. Yeah, so Abs, yeah, I would definitely love to wrestle him again. I know he says I'm one of his greatest rivals, so let's do it.
I would love to see that match again. And this one, this one is going to be kind of emotional for me, and I think you'll see why in a minute. Brawley versus Hot Dog. You won by DQ, but then after a man that was recently lost to us in the wrestling world, Vince
Yeah.
Steele, made the save to you.
Yeah. So this was at Was it Ace Pro Wrestling? I'm not.
Ace Pro Wrestling, you took on Brawley, and you got saved by the Jurassic Juggernaut, Vince Steele.
Yeah. So me and me and Vince, I've never talked about this, but him and I, on screen, love-hate relationship, right? Because when I first faced Cheeseburger at Now You Create Wrestling, he attacked me after and gave me a choke slam. The following night after that, it was a three to four on one. It was like me, Matt Awesome, and like two other people against Vince Steele, in which I threatened to do the shield power bomb. You know, I did the ooh ah thing to him, and we just couldn't do it. So he beat all of us up. I ended up taking his I don't know if it's supposed to be a Swanton or a Harlem Hangover, but I took one of those moves and it went viral. So I hadn't seen Vince since. So I go to Ace Pro Wrestling, and then next thing you know, this man won't stop beating me up. Brawley won't stop beating me up. And the next thing you know, Vince still comes and saves me. And I was like, what are you doing here? I thought we were beefing.
Yeah.
But and I'm like, you're not going to eat me, right? He was like, no. And I was like, good. And I just passed out. But I think that was like the last moment I had with Vince Steele. I do remember seeing him because I worked, we both lived in the Bronx at this point. I worked at a gym, and my coworker and I ran into him, and he knew her, and I was like, "Yo, you guys know it's a very small world." So we kind of got to like, talk, and he was like, "Yo, whatever you need, hot dog. Like, I got shows over here. I get you booked over here." It's very unfortunate, I had to break the news of his passing to like our mutual friend, and she was like really devastated. I'm still devastated by it now because stuff like this, it happens, and it's complete. It's freakish, but rest in peace to him, and my condolences to his family. But yeah, I wish we could have done more with that moment, but we couldn't.
I could have either seen you guys being one of those rivals that ended in a match to where eventually you guys would become a sick tag team. The Jurassic Juggernaut and the Hot Dog. Oh my
Jurassic
god.
Jurassic Dogs.
Jurassic Dogs.
Hmm.
Oh, but his son.
His
Did
son,
you
yeah,
see about his son?
his son put the gear on, did the splash. I was like, man, this is so cool. This is so cool. It warmed my heart to see his son in the ring. That was amazing. It was beautiful. So yeah.
It was definitely a spectacle and a wonderful sight to see. Vince Steele's legacy never forgotten. R.I.P. to you.
Yes, sir.
You also you've also been to, we've talked about over there, American Coliseum Wrestling, where you teamed up with Ray Pittman and Johnny Chill versus Professor Reeves, Joe Scott, and Ann Bivens.
Yeah, Andy Bivens. So we had a spat, right? They were beating up, I think, Ray Pittman in the ring, and this is at the Palisades Mall. This is the first time there. And me and Johnny Chill, we were like, no, we're not dealing with that. So we hit the stage, and then we start we started taking it to them, and then I think I hit a stunner. I think Pittman hit the spear, then Johnny Chill with the big old splash. And then that led up into this tag match in which they cheated to win, but it is what it is. I know I was furious. Like I threw my glove somewhere and I was mad as heck. But man, I miss wrestling for American Coliseum Wrestling. But yeah, we wanted to give it to them. We wanted to win, but we just couldn't. You know, you're too smart.
Was a great matchup though, and hopefully maybe down the line there will be a full circle.
Yeah, maybe.
Your PWE debut and experience.
Okay, this is a really funny one. My PWE debut.
You came
I
in running.
I came in running, but I did I was a battle royal. It was a like a Royal Rumble style match, and
And you had something in your hand.
I had Frankie. That's my hot dog son. Um, and I was hitting everybody over the head with it. But the reason why it's so funny, I got booked for the show, and I rode with somebody up there, and I had all my gear except for my hot dog. I didn't bring my costume. So this is
Oh,
the first time I wrestled without a hot dog costume. And I was completely like vulnerable. And I was so like, I don't know if this is gonna work. Like this isn't gonna work. No, it's not gonna work. I've never done this before. I mean, I've done it before, yes, before I was hot dog, but now I'm officially called hot dog. Um, but this also was a deciding factor if I needed to wear the costume or not, right? And when I debuted and I was hitting everybody over the head with it, and I brought the energy and I was doing everything, I lasted up to the very, very end of this battle royal. I got the love and respect of the crowd. I still got them chanting my name, and that's what decided. I was like, I don't need to wear this costume. I can do this without it. But it is comforting to wear it. Um, so that my debut at PWE.
I love
No
it. I
hot,
love it.
no hot
And
dog costume, but it worked.
who were some of your greatest rivals in PWE?
Megabyte Ronnie. Megabyte Ronnie. We did a whole program that lasted over a year, some change. Um, so our rivalry spilled from the first Great American Trash at Nuclear
Oh,
City. So I remember going to the Nathan's famous hot dog
a
eating
lot of things
competition.
seem to have happened there.
Yeah, there was like an intercompany thing. Like everybody wanted to book this match. So I go to the Nathan's famous hot dog eating competition. He's also a professional eater. He is in the contest. Like he does the professional eating. He eats hot dogs. He's a professional wrestler. It writes itself. So I go there. I call him out. We actually have a moment on ESPN where we're doing face to face. Um, and then I wrestle at the Great American Trash against Puff and American Beetle. I win the match. This man got into her Uber and traveled all the way to Williamsburg, Brooklyn to attack me after the match. He gave me his Cyclone, which is a spin out. Uh, it's a spin out spine buster on a ladder. I was literally immobilized for like 10 months. I'm not even kidding. My back was all messed up. Could not wrestle, could not do anything. Um, and we ended up doing a lot of promo work between each other. And then we finally got a place that actually booked it. We agreed on it. And then it was PWE. And then PWE, our first match, I think is also on YouTube. We
hmm
had a no DQ, no rules, anything goes match, and it was crazy. This is possibly my one of my greatest matches of all time. There were many hot dogs flying everywhere. There was chains. There was so many weaponry. Like I had a good time. I had fun. And then the a couple months after that, we ended up being in the pay per view, not pay per view, but the main event of that live event, and the Bundertaker debuted. So a warning to Ronnie before we did the match. Bunasty got on the microphone, and he called them out. He was like, "Okay, you beat me once. You cheated because you low blowed me, and then you beat me. Um, but you brought out a side. You brought out a side of me. You brought out a nasty side of me. So that Megabyte Ronnie had brought out Bun Nasty. He brought out
Wow.
the nasty side of hot dog. So Bun Nasty. So that's why I started talking as Bun Nasty. And I was like, well, I have a warning for you. And the warning is, you're dead meat. And then when I say dead meat, lights go out, Bundertaker. So when I faced him again, I was the Bundertaker. Came down, it had all the lights, the music, everything. And I beat him. So now we're 1-1. Unfortunately, he retired due to injury. And then he came back, and we were going to work into it again. But I think, again, he's hurt. So it's somewhere down the line. I'm always gonna pray. I'm always gonna pray that it happens again because he's one of my greatest rivals. And we've always talked about doing a tag team as well, and we'll never know. We'll never know. We don't know what the future holds, but that is one of my greatest rivals in PWE, Megabyte Ronnie.
Heck yeah. It was a great matchup of what I could see on YouTube, and it was incredible. And I hope to see you guys face again in the near future.
Yeah.
And you also took on, not took over, took on Dollar Store Luchador El Chipo,
Yep.
Bobby, Johnny Moran.
That match was fun. Uh, I feel like there were more people in this match. Only four of us, right? In this match. So,
As far as I was concerned, yes, unless I made a mistake.
no, I think that was it. I always feel like if it's like, I think it was my
Because it
first
said a
fatal four way.
scramble, so I was like, I thought there would be
Expecting like
more
two
at
more
first.
people, right? Yeah, no, but I think that actually is it. That match was fun. I always love wrestling Bobby Orlando. Bobby Orlando is probably one of my favorite wrestlers. Um, Funny enough, Bobby Orlando's first singles match was against me.
Wow.
Yeah. So I've been in this wrestling business for a very long time. I've been a lot of people's first match. And seeing him from what he was before to what he is now is absolutely amazing. I just saw Bobby like 2 weeks ago, and I just told him how much I love him and how much I miss him. But he's doing his thing. I'm very proud of him.
And he is only one of the 8 guys to not go of AEW because he was part of the Shook crew. And it looks
Yeah.
like the 2 others have made it to AEW, but he has not yet.
Uh, you never know what's gonna happen.
Oh,
I
no.
always, yeah, I have nothing but hope and love for Bobby. He's gonna land somewhere great. Trust me.
I have no doubt about that, Mr. Bobby. And he's making a name for himself, like you said. And look at what he's been doing nowadays if you haven't been catching up on his work. It's incredible.
Yeah.
You also were at TCW.
TCW, I think I was just like a special guest. I think I might have did like 2 shows for TCW, and
Okay.
both were like Royal Rumble Battle Royal style. Um, I came in my debut, uh, gave everybody some bunners on the way, and I had a good time. I had a good time. I got to got to see some old friends there. Stunned people who I've never stunned before, but I had a good time there.
Wonderful. And AFCW? Ace Fusion Championship Wrestling?
Okay, I'm trying to remember. Was it a six-way match?
Yes, you were also in a tag match, which I was going to ask you real quick. When you have been in these companies, I've noticed you've been in different varieties of teams.
Yeah. Again, this goes along with the whole people don't know how to. I don't want to say they don't know how to. That's kind of like harsh, but they sometimes don't know where to put me in matches. So I'm either in a multi-man match with these new companies or a tag team match with this company. And I think for that specific time, I was testing the waters on being a heel character because I think I turned on my tag team partner afterwards. And I just realized it wasn't going to work. And I was just testing something, and I did it as a favor for one of my friends because we were going to go forward with me being a heel um, for this tag team, but there was a lot of discrepancies within the team, and I just didn't want to, continue on with it. So I ended up not continuing with it. But the six-way match was really cool. The promoter's son was also in this match. I think his name was like Genesis or something like that.
There
Sega,
is Judd Genesis and Chris Slade, Casey Lycan,
right.
Suicide Myers, and Sabel Del Mar.
Yeah, so with that match, I was able to actually like kind of produce most of it, most of all of it. But I wanted to center it around Genesis because he was the promoter's son, and he was the youngest out of all of us, and way younger than all of us. Like he was probably like 14, 15, 16. So
What?
yeah, yeah. In one of the moves he took, I was very much against, but he was fine or whatever. But um, he took a wild Steiner screwdriver, and I was like, I do not agree with this. But He had a good showing. I wanted to make sure he had a good showing. If you notice, he went for a turn to DDT and ended up kicking everybody before he actually planted the DDT. So props to him. I forgot who won this match. Was it
It
Casey
was
Lycan?
Casey Lycan, who you went on the face in WAW World All Star Wrestling.
Yeah, so Casey and I we go back a long, long time, and I think he was nervous to face me as Hot Dog, and I didn't know why he was, but he was. But we've talked about this match afterwards. But Casey's like my little brother. I love Casey. Hopefully he's okay. But yeah, we've been up and down these roads uh, plenty of times, and that match is cool. We got to do the cha cha slide, But afterwards, that's where he joined the throne, and they beat the crap out of me. Um,
Hmm.
that wasn't fun, but of course I still got the crowd to love me and show sympathy for me and still chant my name. So it is what it is.
And speaking of the throne, back to AFCW, you teamed up with Chris Slade to take them on in a match, but it wasn't supposed to be a tag match originally until the match actually was happening.
Uh, Trying to remember
Because I
the
remember, like, now
scenario.
this match is now for the belts, and then your opponents were getting upset. The throne.
Yes, I faced Batsu Kusanagi, Danny Riley, and yeah, I ended up turning on Chris Slade after because he kept hitting me in this match. Like accident, whether it was accident or not, I just took offense to it, and I ended up giving him a bottom bun. Um, Yeah, and then I ended up joining the throne for like 2 seconds. Yeah.
a quick join and then bye bye.
Yeah, like apparently, they live by Freebird rules, so they won the tag team championships, but that also meant I won the tag team championship. So I didn't really need to really have a match with, I didn't really need to have a match with them, but I ended up having a match with them. But it is what it is.
You also went to NAW and again with Hamlet and Nino Cruz facing you and EJ Lewis.
That match, I remember. I have a friend who is also a hot dog fanatic, or we have it's a multiverse of hot dogs, and but his name is
Really?
Cruisin' be Cruisin'. So he's a rapper, but he also wears a hot dog costume. So you'll find I'm the only professional wrestling hot dog, right? I'm the only one of my kind. No one can do it like me. No one is me. But there's also one of one in almost every aspect of hot dog. So there's a rapping hot dog. There's a trombone playing hot dog. There's there's Dewey the hot dog. There's so many different hot dog people that I've met in this world and met in this life. But he was there in the crowd. It was really cool. Um, I smacked the crap out of Hamlet with my glove. I
Uh-huh.
called that hot dog in a handshake. Um, I want to say I gave a bunner to somebody in there. I don't remember. I think I did. That match was cool because I think one of the opening sequences, uh, I think Hamlet does a a leapfrog, and he tags in Nino at the same time, but I ended up taking him out. I took out both of them in the sequence. It was a really cool sequence that I love doing. It just shows how aware I am, even though I'm a character. I'm aware of what's happening in the ring. So there was a blind tag somewhere. I noticed it, and then I just took both the guys out.
I think you know how to electrify a crowd anywhere you go because people react, and we all know if you don't get a reaction, that's
Yeah,
not good. But like
yeah,
you
it's
get a
not good.
reaction everywhere you go. Like even when you lose, a lot of the times in your matches, I always see there's a moment where you're in the ring laying down, and the fans are just clapping for you, and you get up because the fans like you do this for the fans. What it seems like most of the time.
Yeah, it's all for them. It's all for them.
Now, we have talked about many of promotions you've been in, and this may be a hard question for you to answer, but hoping you can. Can you give me your 5 greatest rivals as of your time in the wrestling? We talked
Uh,
about one, which
let's
was
see.
Megabyte Ronnie.
Yeah, so he's up there. Cheeseburger's up there. I want to say Effie, you know, Effie, CPA, and it's God. If I could pick one more, who am I going to pick? Man, I got to think back, but so far I got 4. I just need one more. I'm trying to think. I'm drawing a blank here. Damn, I can't think. I would have to literally check my matches because I literally have a list of all my matches. Recently I just faced Sue Young. Um, and we had a really good back and forth match. The match is going to be up probably in the next month or so. Um,
Sue
I
Young from TNA.
Sue Young, yeah, from TNA. So she was really cool. I would put either Sue Young or Casanova Valentine in there. And just also putting this out there, Casanova Valentine is the New Fear City World Champion. Um, he just cashed in on Gabriel Sky. But Casanova has never beaten Hot Dog Starks.
Oh.
Nope.
Well, do you have maybe a few dream matches you want to tell us about that you aspire to have that you've never faced of a person? It could be in tag, it could be in singles, hell, it could even be a multi-person. It could be a man, a woman, it could be anybody. Who are your top 5 that you want to have a dream against?
Man, if Sting was still wrestling and I was signed somewhere, I would love to wrestle Sting. Sting is my one of my all-time favorite professional wrestlers in the world. Sting. Sting, Sting,
5
Sting, Sting,
decades
Sting.
of pro wrestling.
Yeah, and I missed all of them, right? I missed the chance to wrestle him, but I would love to wrestle Sting as my all-time favorite. That's number one, I'm locking that in. Um, I want to say Shark Boy, Curry Man. They need that. I want to face the Undertaker, but it's not gonna go well for me. It won't go well for me. I ain't getting nothing in.
You'll put up a fight.
I'll try to, but it's Undertaker. I'm trying to see if I have one more I can name. I think that's it so far. I'm trying to think of a tag team. I want to do me and Cheeseburger. Oh man, who we gonna face? Who will we face? If it's me and Cheeseburger, we're meet on a mission. So trying to figure out a good tag team. Maybe the Hardys. The Hardys are like
Oh, dang.
the
Oh,
Hardy
yes.
Boys. Yeah, I would love to wrestle the Hardys. Like I'm watching my friends wrestle the Hardys. I'm like, man, I want to wrestle the Hardys. So yeah, I think that would be it.
I would love to see that in the future. And like you said, you have faced some big time talent that have been a lot of places from the sounds of it. And can you tell us some more that we haven't maybe discussed that you faced?
We talked about a lot of them. I'm trying to. I mean, you picked the good ones. You picked the good ones. I mean, like me versus Effie, our first match is nowhere to be found. I don't know where that footage is at, but that match I want people to like really look at. Our second match was cool, but there was like 2 botches on my end that I just wish I can erase from my memory, but they exist. Effie is definitely up there. Um, Man, we got through a lot of them, to be honest. We got through a lot of those matches. And I would have to literally look back at my matches that I've had where I'm like, like this match is really good. You got to check this out. But me versus Megabyte as Bundertaker, that match is like really cool. We main evented that show. The entrance alone of Bundertaker, insane. I'm gonna eventually upload a playlist of all the promos that him and I have done. Our first match, our first interaction, him attacking me popping up. Like I'm gonna end up putting a whole playlist so people will see the story between Megabyte and Hot Dog. Because not all of it's shown on YouTube, not everything. Just our one match is shown, and you got promos every which way. Even some promos I've never posted because sometimes I hate my voice, sometimes I hate talking, sometimes before there was a Bunasty, they were just Michael Starks, right? And it's just me talking on the microphone and not in character, just speaking. And I just didn't like it, so I never posted it. I have promo work that I've never shown where I'm talking to myself, am talking to the three hot dog gimmicks alone, and I'm telling them where to go, like telling them what to do. And it's insane. It was like, and I was thinking about making another hot dog gimmick, head of the food table. This is like
Oh
yeah,
my god.
so yeah, the head of the food table, the food line, just thinking about stuff like that. But it's just me and the hot dogs, me
If you
and
do the food
myself.
line, you need to get some people from GTS.
Yeah, I'll think about it. I'll think about it. I've been playing with the idea for a while, but yeah, I just got to work some things out with it. But outside of that, like I think you hit the nail in the coffin with a lot of those matches. A lot of those matches are actually my favorite matches that you mentioned. So yeah, I think if you're gonna look for me, man, look at my future matches because they're gonna be pretty good too.
Oh, I guarantee it. I know that there is a bright future ahead. And speaking of that, how do you see yourself evolving in a year or two?
Man, I don't know. That's such a I've always been on the fence about continuing being hot dog, or should I start over with something different, something new? I'm always on the fence about it because I don't know if I ran my course with this gimmick. I have no idea. I trying to always invent something with it. It can take a toll on me. So it's hard to say. Maybe next year it's still going to be hot dog, and the year after that I'm still going to be hot dog. I always feel like I'm going to be always known as hot dog, and I'm perfectly a-okay with that. Um, so yeah, I'm going to probably be doing more some hot dog stuff. Like I've got to do some really cool hot dog events. Like the event in Times Square. They actually have professional wrestling in Times Square with a giant hot dog in the middle of Times Square, and I got to be there. I got to be in the New York Times. I was a notable person. It was just really cool. I didn't wrestle, unfortunately, but I had a good time. I got noticed. I got the crowd reaction. It was great. Um, I got to do there was a sausage party when they were doing the television show. I got to be part of that. And whether or not it's wrestling related, I'm always going to do something that is hot dog related. Always, no matter what. So my goal is to eventually get some type of sponsorship deal with hot dogs, with some type of hot dog company, whether it's Magically Eating, Nathan's, or Sabret, Hebrew National, um, Bars S, like whatever it is, like I want to be down for that, you know. Yeah, and even the whole meaties thing, I want to actually eventually have my own real cereal, like I have meaties, I have a prototype box, but can you imagine a hot dog cereal, like an actual real one?
That would be wild if they actually did it right. It'd probably be like that candy, the rubber candy hot dogs.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
but yeah, if it's not wrestling related, it's going to be something hot dog related. I'm a professional hot dog, so why not?
I love it. I love it. And I know everybody else loves the hot dog. How do you handle criticism or negative feedback from fans and critics?
I don't got to live with it. I take it for what it is. I evaluate it. I see if it's actually true. I see if it applies. It doesn't necessarily bother me so much. Um, I had a bunch of critics in one year, and I shut them all up. I ended up getting all the respect, But my mom, God rest her soul, would always tell me, "Show them better than you can tell them." So I don't got to tell them anything. I just got to show them.
What have been some of the biggest challenges you've faced in your wrestling career, and how do you overcome them?
Ooh, that year I was talking about, we had all those critics. That was the hardest one. So, at one point, I wanted to quit because I felt like I was getting bullied, and I felt like I wasn't, loved. Not, and it wasn't by the crowd or fans or anything like that. It was about the people in the back. So, I thought about leaving. I thought about quitting, but one of my friends who was also a wrestler or former wrestler now, talked to me and was like, "No, you're not going to quit. You love this, right?" I do. And if you love it, you're not going to leave it. And I just kept doing it. And I kept showing up. I kept doing my job. I kept having fun. So that was it. Just have fun. And when I started having fun, I didn't care what other people who I don't have to live with were saying to me. I was good. I was free of that. It and so it made me better in the ring. It made me more aware of what was around me. But I know I could go tunnel vision and focus on just myself. And that's what I did.
How do you engage with your fans on social media, and what do you think is the most effective way to build a strong online presence?
Man, I suck at social media. I really do. My
Social media is not
Facebook,
always our friend, let's be real.
yeah, like thank God for the collaboration feature like on Instagram because I do not post anything. Like like even it's sorry to say this even with you like I don't pay attention to my Facebook. I'm barely there. I'm home all day with my son, so I don't really have time to like look at social media and it sucks because it's just a vital part of being a professional wrestler. But yeah, no, my social media game is whack. Like, and I've always told my wife this. I was like, look, if I wasn't a professional wrestler, I would not have social media. I wouldn't. So in a way, I don't like social media, but I know it's needed to kind of promote yourself, to promote everything. So if I was to give you a general answer is yes, you do have to be on top of it. You do have to post. You do have to interact with people. Um, you do have to promote yourself, promote the company that you're going to wrestle for, promote all your events, promote your merch, promote everything. Just promote, promote, promote. Promote yourself definitely is number one, right? Because if you don't promote yourself, who's going to know who you are? Um, I think that's pretty much it. I mean, I feel like you could just type in hot dog and you'll just find me, but sometimes that's not good enough. So we'll see.
Well, as we know, being a wrestler is not always easy, especially being on the road. How do you balance your training and competition schedule with your personal life?
Ugh, it sucks. Like it sucks. Like if I can train, I would, and I can't train as much as I would like to. I have to be home. I have a baby. So when the bookings come, I'm like, oh my God, I have to get to the gym. But I can't go to the gym. I have to stay home. So I'm start doing some push-ups, doing some sit-ups home. Sometimes my son is just staring at me, watching, is laughing too, and I'm like, okay, whatever, have fun. While he's listening to the hot dog song, cool, man. Um, but I have a good partner. My wife's a good partner, so she understands that, hey, I usually wrestle Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. She makes it her business to like figure things out. I'm wrestling tomorrow in Newark, right? So we have
Against
people.
who?
I have no idea. I just know I have a show in Newark. So
Oh, wow, congrats.
thank you. I'm wrestling for Wrestle Pro. So that should be a
For what
good one.
company?
Wrestle Pro.
WrestlePro. Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. So I think the mayor of Newark
Wow.
is his show or whatever. But he got Wrestle Pro to do it. Yeah, and it's always a fun event there. But yeah, I have a wonderful partner who steps up when she needs to and puts things in place so where it's like I can do my thing on the weekends. I can wrestle on the weekends. I can have fun and I can enjoy myself on the weekends. So if needs be, I have that partner.
That's wonderful to hear. That's wonderful, and I'm happy for you, sir. Can you tell us about any charitable work or community involvement you're a part of or been a part of?
Um, not much in a while. Um, Community maybe, but like I haven't really been in touch with it in a very, very long time. Um, Back in the day, my early stages of the wrestling career, I would go to these big, big parks and just promote everything. And with the promoting, also was like passing out flyers and passing out different gifts and whatnot. But outside of that, I haven't done it in such a long time. I feel like I haven't connected with the community in such a long time.
Because you have other stuff you need to do, and that's
Yeah.
understandable. I guess as we approach the end of this, we are coming to the final question, sir. Um, what do you want? What is your legacy? What do you want your legacy to be?
I I want people to. I'm always gonna want people to remember me. Always, 100%. To remember Hot Dog, the man behind the bun. Remember me. Um,
I'll
my
never forget you.
son. My son has the greatest thing. I think I feel like my son can, if he did never knows that I wrestle because he's never watched me wrestle. My son can don the mantle of being Hot Dog, right? And we could do the funniest thing where my Hot Dog son Frankie, right, the thing I carry, the little plush toy, he can literally do a gimmick and say I'm Frankie, and then he's just Hot Dog Starks Jr., and then he just himself is himself, My son is funny enough. His name is Nathan, not because of the whole hot dogs, but is literally
Yeah, yeah.
this is what I wanted to name him. But
Nate
he
Dogg.
literally, yeah, yeah, right. Like he can he can do whatever he wants with this gimmick, and it's a gimmick that has longevity. And he can do whatever he wants with it, and I'm happy for him, But I think I don't know. I want my legacy. I just want people to remember me. Remember that there was only the one and only Hot Dog Starks.
Well said, sir. And that was my final question. And I hope to have you on here again. And this has been a true honor. And thank you for taking the time out of your day to do this. Like I said, this is a huge honor for me. And ladies and gentlemen, that was the second episode. Mr. Hot Dog, do you have anything you would like to say before I end off?
Just want to say thank you for having me on. If you want to find me anywhere, follow me on Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram at Hot Dog Starks, all in one word, as HOTDOGSTRKES. Buy my merch. I have new shirts on my Pro Wrestling Tees page. That's prowrestlingtees.com/Hot Dog Starks. Look at the homepage for any discounts. I'll send you something. But yeah, every shirt I design myself. Maybe one or two I got help with, but every shirt I design myself. If you also need gear, if you're a professional wrestler watching this, or if you're some up and coming professional wrestler, you're training, you need gear. I design gear. I don't make the gear, I design it. I'm your guy. Logos included as well. As at Glizzy Gear Designs, I'm your guy. But that's it.
You're a designer?
I do. I design everything.
Wow, so you do this for not just you, but the boys and the others you
Yeah,
work with.
yeah.
Wow, incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Well, sir, you do a lot, like not just from the wrestling standpoint, but from the backstage standpoint.
Yeah.
I did not know this. I kind of want to touch on this before we go off.
That's the man behind the bun, man. That's me. That's me. A lot of the people who I wrestled, like the Brick City Boys, um, their gear is designed by me. I design my own gear. I just did a design for TJ Crawford. Um, BRG, if you know who that is. He was MOW superstar. I designed all his gear. I designed his promo stuff. I design a lot of things. So I did the design for Eric Cha recently, so he's going to be debuting his gear very soon. Vargas, his gear, I designed his gear. Um, yeah, like those are just my clients, but I've been in this thing for a good while now. I've been doing designs for a while now, but that's the man behind the buns. That's me.
That's incredible, sir. It's been an honor to get to know who you are. And like I said, I hope we get to have you on here again. And thank you for the opportunity of letting me interview you, sir.
Of course, man. Thank you.
Hey, ladies and gentlemen, that was episode 2 of Breaking Kayfabe. I hope everybody has a good day, good night, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and peace out.
Peace.